Welcome to Curly's Mailbag, the most popular Queensland betting show in Australia. How are you, Shane?
Must be the only one, is it? Yeah, going all right, mate. Thank you.
Mate, there's a fair bit on. I don't know where we start. We've got the Bull Punters Club chugging away. I think we've just hit 75,000. It seems to be occupying a lot of people's mind. But let's go back to maybe last week and talk about a couple of races last week. We got a little bit lucky for our listeners or viewers at home, and we found Just Orm as a bet. But the talking point from that race was definitely not Just Orm. It was Vega One, and what did and didn't happen there. It was we sort of fancied with the 62 kilos that it'd be a quite tight run. But what's your version of how things unfolded?
Firstly, mate, I've got to give you a bit of a pat on the back here because in your preview you did make Just Orm a bet and mentioned exactly that. Vega One first up, 62 kilos. It's and it wasn't really a betting proposition first up. That's the way the result panned out, but I don't think that's how it could have panned out if maybe if they zigged instead of zagged up the straight there. But yeah, obviously plenty of conjecture about the ride. Social media lit up, as you would expect. Look, I don't know, rightly or wrongly, whatever it is, what it is. The horse won a race last preparation, which gave it a free ticket into the Stradbroke Handicap Group 1. I don't know, it's worth half a squillion or something this year. You know, it's got a grand final in mind. An open handicap with 62 kilos, you know, on resumption is not the sort of race that you'd want to have a gut buster, I wouldn't have thought. So from if you were an owner in that horse, you would have been very pleased with the run. He was a little bit unlucky. You know, move on to next week. Support your jockey, support your trainer. Obviously, a few punters blew up. But look, again, like I think this is, you know, one thing that I'm big on is that the market tells the story and the market told you it wasn't there to win. So you just got to bet accordingly. I mean, if you're going to carry on post-race on social media, which we all do when we back a loser, and I'm you know, if
you're the head cheerleader
in Australia, you know, you just got to be mindful of it. And like I said earlier, you know, you identified that early, which horse was there to play. And, you know, I think sort of taking away a little bit from what happened with Just Orm, it's that 4 deep the trip and never, ever looked like getting beat for one stride. It's gone huge in winning. But look, we'll hear more of it. They'll get through the carnival. They'll run in the Stradbroke and they'll have the hearing's been adjourned anyway. So by the time the hearing's heard in Queensland, like most cases up here, that it should be maybe 2021 around Magic Millions time. So the boys can have a holiday then.
So I'll reword the question just to try and get a yes/no answer out of you, because it sounds like you got some splinters up there. But to Bailey's right-hand side or inside Tambo's mate, could you have driven a bus through that gap? Yes or no?
No.
What about a small lorry or a Mitsubishi Lancer or something?
I was more leaning towards a maybe Tarago. I don't know about a Lancer, maybe a Tarago, Mitsubishi. Is that a Tarago maybe.
A Tarago, like a people mover.
Yeah, look, all well and good from the couch, of course. But yeah.
Now, when we're talking good rides, on Little Birdie Pod, and Matt, you spoke about Tessa Townsend, and I think that was another open handicap race out at Dalby, race 7. What did you think about that ride? I sort of went into the Stewards Report, race 7 Dalby from the weekend, and obviously I was invested like most punters, and you know, a vocal chorus on Twitter as well. But it looked like she thought the race might have been another 200 or 400 metres. It was a very quiet ride.
Yep.
But are you surprised that the stewards didn't mention it at all in the Stewards Report?
Nothing surprises me in Stewards Reports in Queensland. Look, I don't know whether they forgot it was a tab meeting out there, the stewards, or what, because there was not one question asked. Not a lot was written in the Stewards Report. Look, the thing that I suppose visually it was terrible for punters because we're on the horse and the second and third last horse are being scrubbed to tack on, and Mashani Astana's just poking around out the back under a hold, 2 lengths off the second last horse, and then proceeds to go I don't know, 18 wide, maybe 17 wide from the 600. But there was some conjecture saying that the winner was trained by the jockeys of Mashani Astana. Her master trained the winner. I don't think there's anything untoward going on there. I think we're just seeing the effect of COVID and where jockeys can and can't travel to ride. I'm probably a little bit dirty on myself for going so hard at a horse that I thought could just sit off a good old bush tempo and just be too good for them in the straight.
It's the speed maps up in Queensland are they'll drive you to drink. And lucky Mountain Goat sponsors.
Indeed.
A Mailbag. And I see you're on a nice little red wine there. Can you tell us what is it? A Shiraz or a Pinot drink?
This is a 2013 McLaren Vale Grenache. This one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think it might be past its best, but I'm preparing for next week, mate. I've got to get in the spirit of the bull, and when you're betting at the bull, you've got to be sort of half cooked that day, don't you? From experience.
It'll be different. I actually fear for the bookmakers coming into the bull fresh. Like everyone's going to have 4 days of form to do, or be fresh into the form, and they're not on the piss. So hopefully we can strip them out a little bit. That'd be fantastic to have a good result down there. Let's talk about Doomben. I think, despite some rain up in Queensland, I think it's only like a soft 5 at the moment, Doomben, and looking at the forecast, it'll probably improve to a good 4. The rails at 2, you probably just don't want to be on the fence in the home straight. It'll probably play typical Doomben, sort of first half of midfield, early in the day, and then if there's breakneck speed, most horses get a chance, and heaven forbid, who knows what the jockey's going to do up there, but I think the track will just play typical Doomben and good 4, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's I think it's just a Queens. I'm not sure. I think it's everywhere anyway, but we always toss up good 5 here. Like in all the publications, in all the publications, you'll see like a soft 5, on race morning, and it'll firm as the day goes on for sure. So.
Now let's look at a couple of races. There's race 6 we'll have a look at first, the benchmark 90 over 1600. Interesting market here with Shalwa around the $3 mark and somewhere between 320 and 360 seat of power. And then you've got Milkman from the Matt Smith yard at 460. And then you're looking at sort of 750 Shogun Son, Saab Cut, who got up at a good price last at $10. And then Seen Too Many, $12. And pretty, cricket score odds, the rest. It's interesting to note though, seat of power, it's now in the Duncan yard. So Michael Costa's lost that horse. Interesting because last time seat of power went around, I thought it was I think it was $4 into $1.50 or something at Matt from barrier 1 to get a soft lead if they wanted to. They decided to take a hold of it. And next thing you know, horse not seen and now new stable. What can you tell us?
I think the reason for the new stable is the tactics adopted last start. Look, I think it's I've penned the horse anyway, regardless of how the horse got to Duncan's was pretty much from what I understood was from last start. And I think the horse was going to be sold. The interesting ownership of this horse, friend of the show, has got a share in this horse.
Okay.
Tristan Merlihan.
Oh, Tristan.
Manager of this horse. So noticed last week I tipped one of his horses on the show and they scratched it. They clearly wanted to keep the price up their sleeve. Too good. Look, I don't know. Look, I've penned it. I've penned Shogun Son, Endless Day, Seat of Power, Oscar's Lot. And, happy to put any price next to them and work around the remainder. But I think a lot of it will come down to the map. We've seen what happened last week with the toppy, Saab Cat.
Yeah.
Up in weight, obviously needs to be factored in here. It's a fair whack of weight increase, but it'll be a tactical race, and that's one of the big things, particularly around this sort of track, this sort of trip. It's going to be very tactical. So,
the 2 horses. Matt Smith is an impeccable placer of horses, and I'd suggest that they think they can just come up here and give this horse a kill, which it might definitely need. And then I thought the other value in the race, depending on how the track was going to play, was Seen Too Many. I'm not sure about Jake Bayless on, but I think it'd be a definite improver from the last run at Ipswich.
Seen Too Many is another one that isn't like another horse at the minute that's fascinating is not the right word. Annoys me, maybe. Hits me. It won at Canterbury. It went down to Canterbury after a Sunshine Coast win earlier in the year. Missed the run it was originally going to because I think it was washed out. It stayed at Bjorn's, who Michael Costa used to work with, or looks after each other's horses, and then it won at Canterbury. The only horse in the history of racing at Canterbury that sat last and rounded them up on a massive leader bias day. So you'd think it'll just come back to Queensland and just be a matter of
kill them all.
Grades here. And it hasn't attracted any market support in 3 subsequent runs. So I'd be very interested to see what the market does here. But it's just a stable that I'm not that comfortable to be diving into early. But it's a horse you can pen.
Yeah, I find it fascinating. To my eye, off its last start, I think it's an okay setup here. But yeah, I'm wary, Milkman, and like you, I'd probably trying to put in the shorties, especially early. I couldn't come into Shalwar at $3, and I think the market could just flip on its head quite considerably in that one.
Getting Madeline Wishart on Shalwar, it's a Saturday race.
You got to put the mouth guard in to take short price in a race like that.
Definitely.
Now, another good race is race 7, the 1,200 metre open set weight event for 3-year-olds.
Yep.
We've got the Odyssey running around, the horse The Move, no rider declared yet. So Scouts in a similar boat, no rider there. Lady Appleton was scratched when it sort of looked half suited last time, I think.
Yeah, it was.
But Odyssey at $1.80 looks really, really short. I thought Garibaldi was a pretty good run first time, and now it gets blinkers on. I usually like Golan horses as they continue on into their prep as a rule. I think most of the time first up have got improvement left in them.
Mm-hmm. Look, it's I don't mind. I think I'm with you there. Sort of look at I don't know what's happening with The Move. Like you said, no jockey engaged. Garibaldi's got it's got the blinkers. It's got the gate. I wouldn't be at all surprised if The Move come out because of that. And I don't know whether The Move. I think you had a big knock The Move last start too. You were knocking it.
Yeah. I just think it's a bit plain.
So, and Lady Appleton obviously was was okay last prep, like you mentioned. I don't think it's in. I think Garibaldi's a class more, better horse. The Odyssey, interesting one. I thought that maybe it could have been advantaged, on a softer track. I'm not sold on the Odyssey. And I think, like you mentioned, the Garibaldi looks like a horse that's got a little bit of upside, and I think it's going to. I like obviously the run behind Nidort was good. Brings a strong form line through that, and possibly the others. So, it's a good price.
Yeah, it looks a big price, doesn't it?
It does.
Good price. What do you think about Anthony Allen riding for Golan? He seems to be riding okay at the moment.
Yeah, look, I thought the ride on this horse was really good last time. I thought he gave it every possible. Obviously, he drew well and was able to get a nice run in transit and get out as the field sort of spread a little bit, I suppose, when the good horse went for home. I suppose with the COVID and a few jockeys suspended and not necessarily by the stewards but by the stable, has been known to be savage on a jock if it doesn't go his way, T. Golan. So I think while you're riding all right, you're okay. But obviously his number one man's not there. So look, I'm not put off by the jock anyway. When it all boils down to it.
Now this weekend you're doing Gold Coast Friday, so I've got Doomben Saturday. you've got Gold Coast Friday and Sunday at Royal Bow Desert. Is there an early horse that you know the market's far up yet, but is anything that sort of catches your eye?
Yeah, Wisdom of Water race 1, number 1.
Where's that at the Gold Coast?
Yeah, I'm really going out on a limb here. I think it SP's about $1.15. It'll be short now. I think it's I'm being a bit silly saying, you know, I'm tipping Wisdom of Water. I think it's the horse that probably that captures the sort of most attention on the card, I suppose. This horse ran 4th in the Magic Millions 2-year-old. It was a huge run. Stepped out at the Gold Coast at a trial last week, week before. Trotted in the barrier trial by 15.75 lengths with Jeff Lloyd on board, nearly enough to bring Jeff out of retirement, I would have thought. Looks a genuine group race contender in our hybrid Winter Carnival up here. That's and it'll be winning this on its way to some better races. What level it gets to, I think it can get all the way to the highest level in Brisbane in a Brisbane Winter Carnival. And his trial the other day sort of proved that he's back. I'm not sure whether this is the horse is the reason why Robbie Fraud's back riding down in this zone. He's obviously had a couple of weeks off. Remember there was a blow up with Robbie Heathcote. Is that your uncle?
No, we're not related.
I thought we discussed this a couple of weeks ago.
No. His son's name is Nicholas, and I'm Nicholas, but yeah.
So, anyway, so Robbie's gone into quarantine.
We've got the same line.
Robbie's gone into quarantine. He's coming back, and I'm, you know, he's riding a few of the Edmonds horses on Friday. But this is the one. This is the horse in particular that's going to be, you know, attract the most attention on the day for sure. The rail's at 9 metres at the Gold Coast Scooty, so I won't be diving in too hard too early. I wouldn't have thought, but we'll just we'll see how the day pans out. The 3-year-old Cutest race is a quality race as well, and a number of these horses looking to see where they fit, you know, on the way through the carnival. So it still will be not a bad day's racing, and we'll still find a few bets for sure.
Yeah, looks like got Wisdom of Water, and then it must have got a heavy check, I think, in the lead up to that. So yeah, it's Robbie's blessed that he's got the ride, and it definitely looks like a 2-year-old that's just going to be a force to reckon with over the next. What else do we want to talk about?
I don't think we've
next week, Curls.
Sorry, mate. Next week.
But, you obviously you started to do some form for Bundaberg and Rockhampton on the Tuesday to try and find a winner for us out wide.
How good's that? We'll get the bet at Bundaberg. So good. There's been a few good lead-up meetings, though. They're not necessarily set for Bundy like some horses would have been set for the Bull. But we've had a couple of meetings at Bundaberg, and we've had a meeting at Ciurleo on the sand as well. So, it'll be all right. We'll find one. We'll find one or two out wide for sure.
And what about any musical performances on the live stream when people are watching the day's action? Are you going to get the recorder out and have you got a little treat for it? Have you been practicing?
I feel obliged to. We've got a fair bank. Like the bank, we could be pushing 6 figures on this bank come race day.
I would have thought so. I think we'll get to 100,000.
What are we now? 70 odd?
76 or something thousand or something.
Yeah, 76,000. So we'll be like, if we're finding a way to get 5,000 on a good thing at Bundaberg, I think the least I could do is probably pull out the saxophone or the jazz flute or something.
Looking forward to that. All right, so looking at the early markets, just for something on the bone for you guys back at home, I think Garibaldi, I think if you can get sort of $9.50 or $9 early, I'd be sniping that price from barrier 4. I think Anthony Allen should, give you a reasonable steer. I could probably see that price going to sort of $5.50 and the Odyssey backing back out to sort of $2.50 or something like those prices. I think Curly, what you were sort of more trying to lay the two favourites, Chalwa and Seed of Power, and try and go for the split in race 6 at Doomben. Where is that your best play?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. Definitely, like with pen those ones that I've mentioned, and then you're going to be shopping at a bit better value for the others that we've discussed. There's no prices out at the Gold Coast, so there's probably no point going into too much there until you see what prices are out there. But there's
try and beat you to the price of Wisdom of Water if they go up anywhere near $2 or $1.50.
Surely not, but you never know.
Stranger things have happened.
For those that are lucky enough to be able to bet with Samuel L. Jackson or Sportsbet or something like that early enough, he could get an opportunity there. But keen race 6 on risking a couple of them for sure.
And if you want to have a look at Curly's results, head to the mailbag.com.au/results. Curls is in front. He's about 13 units up, nearly 14 units up for April. I'm about 11 units up for April also. So it's been a good month for us. I had a rocky start in March, but the variance up there in Queensland is a bit funny, and you only need sort of one rough to lob, and you're sort of back in the hunt. But I feel like, you and I are both seeing them quite well at the moment. We're pretty disciplined in what we send out, and we're probably leaving a fair few winners on the floor as well, and not staking around those. But the results are there to see. Curly stuff is spot on, and over time I think both products are going to be pretty strong. So good luck, Curls, and the next time I get to speak to you and do one of these things will be Tuesday at Warrnambool. Giddy up.
I wouldn't mind a little bit of a confidence booster over the next couple of days. Coming into Warrnambool with a fresh and winning would be pretty dangerous. If we get our head in front midway through the card Tuesday, not only could it be a bit dangerous on the pump, but we'll have a bit of fun along the way too, I think. So it'd be worth tuning in for sure.
Yeah, if we can hold our own on the jumps, I think there's heaps of jumps trials to get through, and I started to watch a couple of them today. Gee, they go slow, so it is tricky work. But I think we can keep our bank up and going on Tuesday. Find a reward out wide. Heaven forbid, once we get to the flat races on the Wednesday, it's going to be rough and ready there.
Sure will.
Can't wait. All right, thanks, girls. Have a good weekend.
Cheers, mate. Talk soon.